So this is a question that's been mulling around in my mind for the last couple of days, and I just wanted to throw it out there to all the Saw fans just so we can have a general conversation about it. And that is, would Jigsaw have been better if the main successor to the Jigsaw legacy had been someone we already knew from the previous 7 films and not someone completely original to the 8th film in the franchise with Logan? I'm not really sure where I stand on this, and that's why I'm throwing out this question. Hey YouTubers, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. So Jacob and I did this entire retrospective series where we talked about every single Saw film in, great detail. And we even did a it's been a year, how do we feel about Jigsaw now retrospective in that series. And honestly, I stand by everything that I said in that video. I really do like Matt Passmore's character. I like Logan. I think it's become one of the most endearing things about the 8th film in the franchise, and I can't wait to see what they do with his character. But the main focus of this question is would it have felt better for fans of the series to see someone that they already knew previously come out of the shadows and be involved from the very beginning, or been involved like sometime during the 10-year time skip, and this is really going to be explained in the sequel, instead of having someone completely new and original to that movie? And I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I think a lot of people would say, oh, Adam would have been a great choice, because Adam's character is someone that the fan base just isn't. A lot of people aren't okay with the fact that he's dead. I mean, if people think, okay, he's not dead, a lot of people think, the whole mess up thing, whether it was intentional or not with his ankle and the chain in Saw 2 versus what they said in Saw 3 and what we saw in Saw 1, meant something, and that Adam was actually still alive, and he's the one taking pictures, and he was the one helping Dr. Gordon, all this other stuff. I mean, there's a lot there, but we have seen his dead body. We did get to see, even though it wasn't overly conclusive, we did get to see Amanda killing him in Saw 3. So I don't really think he's alive. And I don't really think Lee Winnell wants to come back, especially in an acting role for this franchise. As he said doing the rounds for Insidious, the Insidious 4 movie, he saw the advertisements for Jigsaw, and he thought it was really weird because, he put his heart and soul into those first 3 films. And in fact, I think that if you watched Saw 1, 2, and 3 as their own entity without thinking about 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, it is a fantastic horror movie franchise. He put it to bed, he ended that the way he wanted to, and it was a really ballsy ending. And the fact that they were able to keep it going, and I think some pretty quality films after that, says a lot about what that story was and who they got to play various characters. But he thinks it's done. I put it to bed, and the fact that it's still thriving and being told without me is super weird to him. And even though him and James Wan have talked about, like, okay, we could come back, but we would want to do something completely different and something wholly original to the whole franchise, I think that they've moved on. I mean, James Wan is starting to become like a mega director, and Lee Winnell has really made a career for himself doing smaller stuff and more franchisey stuff. Like with the Insidious movies, they're not going to end anytime soon. Obviously, the last one was called The Last Key, and it really summed up that 4-part story in a really nice way. But I mean, it made so much money. They're going to do another one at some point. And then at the same time, you have Upgrade, which was a really fantastic movie this year. And if you haven't seen that, check that out. But I don't really think he's coming back in any way. It would have been kind of cool to see him come out of the shadows, but I think that would have raised more questions than having Logan introduced as raised. Because like Logan, you can play around with it. You can really, even though a lot of people think it breaks the timeline, I don't think it breaks the timeline that much. And you can have a chance to explain like how he became the way he was in Jigsaw, why he stepped away for so long, why he wasn't involved, and did he know everybody and all that other stuff. Adam comes with a lot of baggage. Maybe you could have had Diana Gordon, have her all grown up and taking on her father's mantle. Maybe Dr. Gordon died off screen or something and she's going to continue the legacy. But still, it just has a whole lot of baggage, because one of the things they wanted to do with Jigsaw is bring it to new audiences. So you didn't have to see those 7 films and meticulously lay out the timeline and just have the entire series known by heart. I know that's what the fans want. It's one of the things I want. I cover it on this channel. I love this franchise to death, and I have done that. But the idea of going into Jigsaw 2 or Saw 9 or whatever it is, kind of fresh and not really having to rely on those last 7 films, but it is kind of a spiritual sequel to them. It's going to acknowledge them, at least in background information and maybe even dialogue. That's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm still kind of split about this. I think it has baggage one way or the other, but I think Matt Passmore proves to me that it's going to be interesting to see him continue. And if you would have brought back someone or even brought back a character that we knew, you would have to get someone just as passionate. So tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. And guys, if you want me to talk about Saw more, or if you just want to talk about the Saw franchise in general, make sure to go follow me on Twitter. I'm always over there, and even though I don't make these videos as much as I should, I will always talk the Saw franchise with you on Twitter. That's how Jacob and I really got started talking on this. He reached out to me on YouTube and he reached out to me on Twitter, and we just started talking a storm up about this, and then we ended up doing that retrospective series. So guys, if you want to talk about Saw, if you want this more content, like, talk to me, give me ideas, you know, let me think about it, bring up this in my mind more than actually just me sitting around on my couch thinking about it. So guys, I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. It's been real.